Bawoni, my dear, let's continue with our jam recommended poems, shall we? This time around now we'll look at The Journey of the Magi by Thomas Ten Eliot. This poem chronicles what a group of people known as the Magi faced on their way to see the baby Jesus. This poem contains 3 stanzas and 43 lines. The first 5 lines of this poem was extracted from a Christmas sermon delivered by Lancelot Andrewes in 1622. The first stanza depicts the suffering that the Magi experienced on their way to see Jesus. They embarked on this journey at the very dead of winter. And you know, my dear, that the winter season is the coldest season in the West. The camels, who are long-suffering animals, are said to be gaunt, sore-footed, and refractory as a result of the stressful journey. The camel men curse and grumble, and some of them even run away wanting those pleasures they left behind. The worst of it all is that their night fires, which serve as a means of protection from wild animals and gives them warmth from the biting cold, suddenly stopped burning. The villagers charged high prices on everything, and they have to travel at night without good sleep. Some of the villages on their way to see the Messiah, they are hostile and unfriendly. It got to a point that some voices in their subconscious started telling them that they've embarked on a foolish journey in the first place. In the second stanza, the Magi and their fellow travelers find themselves in another setting, where the weather is described as temperate. This stanza contrasts with all the places mentioned in the first stanza. The baby Jesus, whom they've been looking for, was found in a very humble environment in the second stanza, a manger. In the third stanza, the reader is to know that all he or she has been reading are in the past, as the poet simply says that all this was a long time ago. The Magus, one of the Magi, declares that he will go on the journey again despite all the hardships that was faced in the previous ones. He begins to ask if they were all led to see the birth of Christ, or they were led to see the death of their old ways. On returning to his homeland, the Magus finds the idolatrous practice of his people unacceptable because he has encountered the Messiah. My dear, the summary of this poem is that life is a journey. This is a predominant theme in this poem. You have to sacrifice something to get some. There are periods of joy and happiness, while there are periods when all seems to be against you. Just as the Magi left all their summer palaces and slopes, terraces, wealth, because they want to see the Messiah, you too need to leave something to get some. You have to deprive yourself of adequate sleep so as to pass your JAMB examination. Another theme in this poem is suffering. When the Magi first set out on their journey, things appears to be working against them. First and foremost, the timing is not in their favor, as it was in the very dead of winter. The camels and the camel men are uncooperative, as they grumble and some of them run away to feed their cravings. Therefore, my dear, at some point in your life, some of your loved ones will desert you. They will leave you. They will run away. That time, you don't have to give up. You have to continue because success is right there at your doorstep. What are the elements in this poem? The first one is pathetic fallacy. Pathetic fallacy occurs when emotions are attributed to non-human things, especially weather or elements of nature. It occurs in line 40. The poet talks about cities hostile and town unfriendly. It's only a human being that can be hostile, and it is only a human being that can be unfriendly. The poet also uses synecdoche. Synecdoche is when you use a part to represent a whole or vice versa. In line 27, the poet says 6 hands at an open door dicing for pieces of silver. A part of the body hands is used to represent people. Hence, instead of 6 people, the poet simply uses 6 hands. I hope you've understood this poem, my dear. I'll see you another time.